Hi, friends. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this National Geographic site. First of all, the title of it is Mapping the Global Spread of the Coronavirus. And the question that I'm looking to answer by looking at this source is what is happening where, which is what is happening in the world. First, I want to talk about a couple of markers of credibility with regard to National Geographic. There's a site where you can look up some kinds of sources that aren't in the media bias chart. This is another um, source that you can use to double check on media bias and fact check. And so I will give you guys this link. This is called the Media Bias factcheck.com, and I looked up National Geographic. And this source says that it is pro science, meaning that it follows the scientific method when it reports information, which means it doesn't have bias, and they try not to use emotional words to get you to lean one way or the other. It's just purely fact reporting. It says fact reporting is high. And in addition to that, it says that it's been published continuously since its first issue in 1888. So even though looking back at our source, there's no author mentioned, so we can't really check author's expertise. One marker of credibility that we can use to offer it credibility is the reputation of the publication. It's been around forever and it's science based. We like science. Another marker of credibility would be this date. This particular article is constantly being updated. So they're using GIS data to update the information every single day. So as of today, these are the figures that we're looking at. And you can see that there's over 27 million people who have been infected in the world and over 900,000 reported deaths. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the actual map that I wanted you guys to see of the world. And again, remember the geographic question we're asking is what is happening in the world? This type of map is a thematic map. It is specifically a proportional symbol map. So what we're seeing is everywhere that there's a symbol, and this map is super cool because it's interactive. Everywhere you see a large symbol, you're going to see large numbers of cases. So over 100,000 cases. Anywhere you see smaller numbers is going to be relative in scale to the ones that are larger symbols. Okay, so a few other things to notice about this site. If you continue to scroll down, they also offer what we refer to as an accompanying chart. So the chart isn't the map, but it offers additional data that helps you to understand the map even more, or the data in the map. So this particular chart is new cases since January. And we can see that in the United States, we have a high number of new cases because it's darker red and it's kind of divided into little chunks. So it's like the months are kind of divided into like days where they assess new cases. So if it gets darker, new cases have gone up. If it's lighter, new cases have gone down. Things to notice that the United States does have the most cases worldwide, according to this map. So we can see that India obviously has the same size, or almost the same size, it's slightly smaller. The United States wins. We have the most cases. But if you look at India, you can see that they have a high number of new cases because the color gets a lot darker. Something else to notice is Russia also is pretty high, but if you look at the colors in the new cases, they've been pretty consistent in terms of the new cases that they have. It hasn't really gone extremely high or dropped necessarily down. So those are just a few things that tell me what is happening where. So I would say, in conclusion, what is happening in the world is coronavirus pandemic. The United States has the most cases. India has the most new cases recently. And I would say Russia has a lot of cases, but not a lot of new cases. So that's what I found out. So the next thing I'm going to have you guys do when it's your turn is scroll down, and you're going to do the same thing that I just did, only you're going to look at just the United States and the accompanying chart that goes with that. Okay, one thing I want to show you is just to remind you this is interactive. So you can hover over any of these proportional symbols to get specific data. And if it tells you about a city, it will also show you that what the statewide situation is. So I'm going to have you guys look specifically at this map and tell me a few things that you're learning to answer the question, what is happening in the United States?